my goodness, I am so old. Have you seen how old I am? Oh my god, so many wrinkles. Hey everyone, welcome back to this episode of Screen Time. I'm your host, Matt. We're going to be diving into the new 22-year-old franchise sequel, Freakier Friday. Jamie Lee Curtis is back, Lindsay Lohan is back, but is this actually a good film? Is it worth watching in the theaters, or is it just trying too hard? Let's get into it. But before we do, make sure you like, subscribe, do those good things. Alright, Freakier Friday is set decades after the original. We see Anna, played by Lindsay Lohan, once again. She is juggling work. She is juggling relationship with the new wedding coming up. But above all else, she is juggling being a mother not only to her daughter, but to her stepdaughter. Now, like we know, strange things happen when you're going around the twist. And there's a body swap between not just two now, but four. And craziness ensues. Alright, let's talk cast. Because honestly, that's the biggest draw here. You're not really gonna go watch a Freakier Friday film in the theaters unless there's Lindsay Lohan and Jamie Lee Curtis. Because they tried to do one in 2019 on the Disney Channel, and it was memorable, and not for the right reasons. So Jamie Lee in this new Freakier Friday sequel is back. And she is the best part. She is so down to do whatever in the way of comedic, physical comedy. And she's just really funny. Lindsay Lohan is back. Honestly though, her scenes aren't as memorable. She does have a really great kind of bit inside the record store. But overall, surprisingly, her bits leave a lot to be desired. Now the newcomers, Julia Butlers and Sophie Hammonds, are charming and instantly connects with the audience. But unfortunately, the film doesn't know what to do with them. They literally just go off on a joyride on scooters, and then they appear in the end, and that's about it. They could have done a lot more with that kind of relationship being much younger and much older people being inside them. But unfortunately, I think they just wanted to focus on, Jamie Lee is back, Lindsay Lohan is back. But they also just kind of forgot about the new characters, you know? Alright, so the gags. This is a comedic film, and if the gags don't work, the gag is you shouldn't see it. But thankfully, most of this film, I think, really kind of works in the way of comedic timing and staging and stuff. But my only downside is that everything associated or funny or the gags written for Jamie Lee once the body swap happens is that she's old. If I was 66 and looked that snatched, I would be offended that all the writers could come up with was how many fucking wrinkles I had. Write something else. What about blonde hair? Does she like blonde hair? Does she not? Does she, like having no job and have a man fix a car? There's so many other things that you could have done with Jamie Lee's character and the differences between the ages, but unfortunately they just decided to mention how old Jamie Lee was every single second they got. But thankfully, there are some really funny sequences throughout the whole film. There's not just one, there's a few, which is really good. There's the record, as I mentioned before, flirting attempt in the record store, very funny. There's everything Jamie Lee Curtis does is pretty freaking hilarious. There's the Facebook gag, which is them looking on Facebook for old people, and that's how they phrase the system to be. This is a diary for old people. It was really funny. I can't really remember much of it, but trust, it was funny. There are many scenes scattered throughout. All of those, plus a really funny allergic reaction that pays off in the end. It took the whole film for us to get a payoff, and it really worked. Now, this film does take a while to get started. in all honesty, it starts with a surfing montage and a getting ready montage, like all Disney Channel movies do. And then it goes into like a montage of the main two in their relationship for 6 months. And then it goes into them getting ready for the wedding. Now, in all honesty, a lot of that first getting ready, wake up surfing montage in the beginning could have just been cut. Just cut straight to school. Just have the science experiment go wrong, and then the parents in school meet cute, because we obviously always had to have the meet cute. In all honesty, you probably could have cut it to when they just start the film with a montage of the two dating. But I understand why they wanted to have the meet cute, because meet cutes are fun. Meet cutes are really quirky, interesting times, and a staple for Disney kind of Channel films. So I understand. So if you want to keep the meet cute, then cut the surfing and getting ready montage, because at the end of the day, it's useless. The pacing is slightly a bit jumbled, but once it gets going, it really gets going. So at the end of the day, though, this is a very cheap film, and it looks very flat. It's giving Disney Channel original film in its cinematography. There's definitely a lot of low budget or mid-tier films that look a lot better. Because I was thinking, like, why was this put on the big screen? Is there any reason for it? Other than having Jamie Lee and Lindsay Lohan in it. And I was like, maybe it's because I'm so used to big blockbusters being in the cinema, and them, that's the only thing I know to be cinema worthy. But there's Materialist that was very cinematic in the most, mundane, kind of tame way. There are ways to be that quieter film, but also still feel very cinematic. All the lighting choices and staging of this film is very flat, and you feel it. Now, Freakier Friday, is it worth seeing? Now, I would say yes, but maybe not in the cinema. It's fun, it's nostalgic, but it doesn't quite hit the right highs as the original. Jamie Lee is a queen, and she's iconic in this role. Once again, the funniest thing ever. Lindsay Lohan is pretty good, she's a welcome return, and the newcomers do a pretty good job. But unfortunately, again, it doesn't quite meet the expectations that the original set out. What did you guys think of this sequel from a retro franchise? Let me know down in the comments below. Like, subscribe, do those good things, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.